The US bank JPMorgan Chase says losses from risky trading in its London office have widened to more than $5 billion. Well, to discuss the implications of the announcement, we're joined by North America correspondent Craig McMurtry. And Craig, what's the reaction been in the US to this news that JPMorgan's loss over the botched trades has now blown out to $5.8 billion?
Good morning, Miriam. It may surprise you, but really there's been a Friday the 13th rally here in the US on Wall Street. Essentially, JPMorgan's share price was up. Investors seem to believe that the worst is over. The bank, it's a huge enterprise, of course, recorded a second quarter profit despite this big loss, net profit of nearly $5 billion. And essentially they believe that the worst is behind them. Jamie Dimon had a conference call with analysts this morning. He's the chief executive, of course, of the bank. He was emphasising that the unit responsible is being closed down, the London trader responsible, and two supervisors have left the bank without severance pay. But the thing that a lot of analysts really seized on is that there's also going to be some sort of financial penalty imposed. Effectively, they're going to try and claw back up to 2 years of the pay for these people. So that was seen as a very positive. The financials led this recovery today on Wall Street, and as I say, it was a rally here on Friday the 13th.
Some surprisingly strong signs there, but for Chief Executive Jamie Dimon, who has a Wall Street reputation for being a high flyer, has this actually in fact hurt his reputation in the US?
It's certainly taken a dent, but perhaps not as much as you might imagine. This is the bank chief executive who famously described this whole botched trading episode as a tempest in a teapot initially. That was when the losses were thought to be in the hundreds of millions, perhaps $1 billion. A few weeks later, he appeared at a hearing on Capitol Hill and acknowledged that he shouldn't have said that he was, quote, dead wrong. Now, in his discussion with analysts today, he was quite upbeat about the US economy. He said, quote, "I think it's silly for anyone in the business world to think you're not going to make mistakes." So he was again quite open about this. There's no serious call for him to go or step down as chief executive, though he did get cranky with one analyst who seemed to be suggesting that he might be too old, or perhaps the business was now too big for him to manage. He got a bit cranky at that. Jamie Dimon's, of course, 56.
Well, on the political front, of course, we've also had some claims from the Obama camp that Mitt Romney isn't telling the truth about his departure from Bain Capital in 1999. What's that all about?
Well, essentially, it's about the argument the Obama campaign thinks it can make if it can tie Mitt Romney, the likely Republican candidate, to Bain, this private equity firm, after 1999. Now, Mitt Romney has always said he left Bain in 1999 and didn't have any involvement with the private equity firm in terms of day-to-day business. However, the Boston Globe and other US media outlets are saying that they have seen SEC paperwork, Securities and Exchange Committee filings, showing that Mitt Romney was still in charge of Bain after 1999. Now, the Romney campaign is adamant that he had no day-to-day involvement. Others associated with Bain from the time are saying that it's a lag in paperwork, that in effect it is their mistake. And an Obama advisor has even gone so far as to suggest that Mr. Romney may have misled the SEC, which could be a felony. Now, the Romney campaign has reacted very angrily to that, demanding an apology, calling for Barack Obama to get his campaign under control. But in essence, the problem for the Romney campaign is after 1999, there were various restructurings and layoffs in Bain Investments. If they can tie Mitt Romney to Bain after that, then that could, they believe, blow a hole in his job creation record. There are other real hot button issues here. Sometime after 1999, Bain Capital took a position with a company that was responsible for disposing of aborted fetuses. Well, that would be a hot button issue for Christian conservatives as well. I think the two things we can draw from this is that, one, the Romney campaign has been quite slow to respond to these claims, and that's causing some angst with Republican strategists saying that Mitt Romney needs to be much more fleet-footed in responding to these. And two, perhaps it's a demonstration of just how poisonous this presidential campaign could get.